everybody. But here we go. Hello everyone, Rituro here with another episode of Blue and White, my video review, video diary, let's play of Football Manager 2014, specifically with the Vancouver Whitecaps in Major League Soccer. Let's start there today, folks. We have some international news to get to with the Canadian national team, but first things first, with the club, the roster freeze has come and gone. With it have come a few little moves. First and foremost, we've signed a backup striker, Andy Johnson, a 4-star prospect from the Charleston Battery, one of our affiliates. We've got him coming in on a very sweet contract, very nice depth contract. It's early, just give me a second here. He'll be joining us at the end of the season, so no need to worry about a transfer fee there. Snagging people out of contract, always fun. He's currently listed as a 1.5, so he's absolutely a project for the future, but his potential at 4 stars easily puts him above the likes of Estrella and even above Hume, who is 2.5 and stagnating as he's out with that season-ending injury. And sure enough, he wouldn't have been good to go even if I'd put him on the 6-day list, so unfortunately Hume is gone for good. So having Johnson available as a depth for next season is going to be great. Certainly save us a little bit of change too once we clear Hume's salary from the cap. Elsewhere in roster changing, we did pull off an interesting trade here. Let's head over to the club's trade history. We did finally move Chris Schuler at the transfer deadline. He was actually starting to fall off after his last injury rather dramatically, so I made a move from while I still could, sending him to Colorado, his Rocky Mountain rival, the former RSL man, with an international spot for a second-round super draft and a first-round supplemental draft in 2017 and $275,000 in allocation money. That is a fantastic return for Schuler, considering I do believe I got him for a absolute steal. Let's take a look here. Yes, I got him again. Let's see if I can see specifically what the biography. Nope, doesn't actually say how it happened, but the point is, we got him in an absolute song. To sell him on for that kind of profit of money plus draft picks is a great piece of business. And the best part is we basically flipped Schuler for picks and turned around and gave worse picks, second and third round supplemental draft picks in 2017 for Jonathan Torres from Houston. Now, that's not who you think it is. He is a defender, and he is American, but he is a new gen. 22 years old. He's a 5-star prospect, currently rated 4.5. That is obscene that Houston gave him up for picks. That is absolutely obscene. Now, I understand why they did it. His contract is up at the end of this year, and Torres is making what you would expect for a stud young defender, 4.8 a week. He's closing in on a DP threshold. I imagine he's going to demand DP money. But my goodness, look at his physical stats. That is phenomenal for a 22-year-old new gen. And he's got great stats, just base for a defensive defender, not defensive midfielder, defender. So there's definitely a case here to lock him in as quickly as possible, and hopefully for not too much more than 4.8 a week. But we'll see. Certainly, I've been burned by being stingy in the past, but I will have a little more cap room to play with now. So we'll see if I can lock him in long term. The other transfer news to point out here. As you can see, I'm trying to get Andre Haino in on a trial as he has been put out of contract. Miguel Montoya from LA Firpo. For the princely price of $1,000 of allocation money, so next to nothing, we are bringing in another D-mid prospect, 4-star projected, currently 2, so it puts him around the same level as Fouad Aboukir. In fact, he's listed as just slightly behind him. But the important thing is here is that Miguel's ceiling at 4 stars is better than Felbab, so already he's better. His price is certainly right. And look at these positions. He's natural at D-mid and A-mid and right side and attacking right side. That is 4 positions he's natural at playing in. That's incredible versatility, considering that I need players for all of those spots on the park, and he can even play in a standard midfield role if necessary. That is an incredible prospect to pick up. Versatility, which the squad desperately needs. Very, very happy with that pickup for, again, dirt cheap. Of course, the trick will be if he can get to develop as I hope. We will see. Piece of roster news to pass along, though, on the bad side of the ledger. Alejandro Garcia is currently on a leave of absence. He's actually having trouble settling into Canada, which is not good at all, considering he is making the big bucks. Almost DP money. I managed to, have a nice chat with him. Said, good, take some time off, get better. We need him healthy. We need him settled in the country if we're going to make this playoff push here. I mean, considering that our championship window is going to pretty much slam shut once we lose Borjan, Kofi, and Kleber, I need to have all the core pieces of my team happy and ready to go. So giving Garcia some time off to get settled in Canada, it was a no-brainer for me. Absolutely had to make that move. All right, to the international front now. I did indeed have my first couple of matches in charge of Canada, and we'll check on how those go in the match roundup for today. But I do want to point out how the U20 squad has been doing. 3-0 and 3-1 wins over St. Kitts and Nevis and Aruba. So not exactly the most sterling opposition. But as you can see, Steve Jackman, Stefan Felbab, and Adrian Garcia with the goals. Sheridan Hart, also another cap, seeing the pitch. Angelo Carmelo Fletcher, also seeing time in 7.2, did very well indeed. In the second match, I don't think was there anybody up this. Hart had a 7.3, just really tearing it up at the youth level here. Angelo Carmelo Fletcher fell off a bit, though, not really a surprise there. Felbab again came off the bench, did okay. You'll notice there was no Dominic Gantar, there's no Adrian Russell Rayner in either of these squads. I actually withdrew them from the U20 squad so that they could stay and help the Caps, as we would have been ravaged by call-ups for the international fixture. Lost Maddox, lost Leverone, lost Fuada Bukiti, got called up to Libya's senior team again. So again, I needed somebody, considering that I'd called up Borjan and a whole bunch of others to the men's national team, for reasons that you will understand very shortly. But first things first, let's get to the matches that have been happening since last we kicked off. Our feature match today will be with the LA Galaxy in Major League Soccer. But before we get to that, let's take a look what happened in Champions League. We needed a result here, and I think a 3-3 home slobber knocker against Monterrey fits the bill. Look at this. 2nd minute goal, 6th minute goal, 37th minute goal, 48th minute goal, 71st, 84th. This was a back and forth affair that was just endless. But you can tell Monterrey has not forgotten how we beat them last year. And actually 2 red cards at the end of the match here, which will be great for hoping to get ahead of Monterrey in the Champions League group stage, which also led to Alderson equalizing the match. So good job, Caps. Let's take a look at how it all worked out here, how this 3-3 match shook out. Vancouver, of course, in their home white, Monterrey in their blue with white stripes. Again, this is only the 2nd minute of play. A very poor cross lands on Holt's head. He nods it forward to Maddox. It's in the back of the net. Thank you very much, Darren Maddox. 1-0 Vancouver. But Monterrey are not going to take that sort of injustice lying down, and they follow up almost instantly. Lewis has the ball taken off his feet by De La Peña. Morello. Chavez. Briseño, you may recall from the Mexican U23 squad, did quite decently. Sends it back to Orozco. Orozco to Mir. Enriquez to Meza. Zavala to Meza. It's a beautiful build-up and a sizzling shot curled in off the bar. Just a beautiful shot. Not really much Borjan could have done with that one. And De La Peña. His free kick lands straight at Borjan. 36th minute. Borjan starts the counter. Nice drop kick to spring Maddox. Maddox actually gets ahead to it. Can't get the ball anywhere after that. Mir sends it to Lopez. Zavalia and De La Peña are both on yellows at this point. Lopez chips it past Maddox, under pressure here, forced to get the ball away. Does get it out to the right flank. Meza back to Mir. Mir to Meza. Enriquez. Zavala. Nice foot in from Kofi, no call. Might have been a harsh tackle, but Maddox skips past another tackle, and it's in off the post, 2nd of the game for Maddox. Now, Briseño, I think, had a point here on that goal. That was a fairly hard challenge from Kofi. Speaking of hard challenges, though, we would be punished by one with a penalty in the 48th minute basically right after halftime, to make it all square at 2-2. And then with time winding down, we enter the final stage of the match, the 75th minute. Fernandez's free kick is in past Borjan on the inside post. Now I know what you're thinking. Sebastian Fernandez? No, it's a different Sebastian Fernandez. Take a look at this again. Fernandez with the corner. It goes up top corner inside Borjan's dive off the post. So Borjan guessed right, was almost there, just too well placed by Fernandez. And then the red card happened. And then Bryce Alderson, needing to equalize, with his own decisive free kick. He goes bonkers. Why wouldn't you take a dive, son? You've earned it. That's how it ended 3-3, Vancouver and Monterrey. A fantastic match. Now, how does that leave us in Champions League? Well, it leaves us on 4 points level with Monterrey. Perhaps most importantly, though, Monterrey is now missing 2 players for a match against Municipal. If Municipal can shock Monterrey, either with a draw or, best case scenario, a win, all we need to do at that point is win over Municipal, and we're in the clear. I believe that's how the math works out. We might need a draw against Monterrey just to seal it, but this makes our job so much easier in that we are relying on Municipal still, but they now have the potential to actually upset Monterrey, which is fantastic. So after that match, we went back to league play and promptly had a boring 0-0 draw with Portland. Ryan Johnson was injured the 21st, which actually, stopped the bleeding a little bit. Gantar got the start after the Champions League heroics from Borjan. Generally speaking, decent match. Leveron and Rayner, good showing in the back line. Adekugbe actually came off with, I believe, a knock early on. Didn't want to rush the issue. Ended up being okay. Fuado Buki getting a start and playing the full 90 and a 6.8 for the 18-year-old. Very good indeed. Garcia coming off the bench. This was before he took his leave of absence, obviously. Nothing really else to report there. Pretty boring 0-0 draw at BC Place. Less than boring, and certainly much more concerning, was our final match of this 3-game homestand. A 4-0 shellacking by San Jose. This was a disgrace in every sense of the word. Outshot, outchanced, better discipline, outpossessed. And just so we're absolutely clear here, this is not the first place 2012 Supporter Shield San Jose. This is just crawled out of the basement with that win, San Jose. So an embarrassing result, and it actually knocks us out of a playoff spot. Not how we want to make our must-win now stand as we close into the last few games of the season. As you can imagine, there was a bit of a hairdryer treatment. It's a demanded result, and I'm hoping we get them in this match against LA. Before we get to that, though, in between all of those matches, all of that Champions League and that league action, we had Canada. My first 2 matches in charge of the national team. Started with a 0-0 draw with Grenada. I started Borjan, Lewis, Alderson, Edgar, De Jong, Will Johnson the captain, Nick Ledgerwood, Mark Larkin, Jonathan Osorio, Simeon Jackson, Caleb Clark up front. On the bench, Kenny Stamatopoulos, Simon Thomas, Brian Revivo. Simon Thomas still unattached, hoping he can restart his career. Brian Revivo and Alan Kashitaz, new gens / depth picks. Revivo actually doing very well for Houston. Kashitaz actually had his debut here, so he is now cap-tied to Canada. Daniil Henry, Adam Straith, Samuel Payet, Patrice Bernier, who I brought in as a veteran, as a locker room presence basically for these 2 fixtures. Matt Zaslavsky, who had a fantastic month, signed a senior contract with the team. I think it's technically reserved, but the point is he's on the team and gets himself cap-tied to Canada. So he's on cloud 9 and good for him. Kyle Becker, Anthony Fuller, and Marcus Haber filling out the 23-man roster. So as you can see, I didn't necessarily completely slough off. I wanted to have enough to establish ourselves and get a result. So I am somewhat disappointed we only came away with a 0-0 draw in Grenada. Certainly, that result makes us look horrible and Grenada look fantastic. They played to bunker and they got their point. Fair play to them. I, however, was not happy. I told the team as such, and they responded with a 3-0 win at home against Saint Vincent the Grenadines. Will Johnson opening things early in the 5th minute, and then Caleb Clark with the brace. Didn't make too many changes to the starting 11 here. I did make the subs a lot quicker, though. As you can see, really changed up here. 5 substitutes used in this match. Brought on that should be 3. Right, 3 subs. I believe I had people coming off to injury. Yes, that was the problem. Osorio and Payet both came off injured. That was not what I wanted to see, but thankfully we kept the 3-0 win, and good for us. Daniil Henry, Mark Larkin, and Anthony Fuller coming on. Fuller also cap-tied for Canada. So that is good. More prospects in the pool. Goodness knows we need them. Oh, goodness knows Canada needs good prospects in its player pool. Let's take a look at my first 3 goals in charge of the Canadian men's national team. Will Johnson opening things up with oh my goodness. What a free kick from Johnson. How many times have we seen him do that for Portland? He's delighted, and he should be the BMO Field crowd loving it. And in the 30th minute, Barely half hour gone. David Edgar takes control of that free kick, but Osorio can't keep the ball. Goal kick, not free kick, my apologies. In the midfield, though, the box 4 midfield that Canada is using, which I will show off after this is done. Can't control the ball, but Franco Lewis is there to get the ball to Sam Payet, who just thumps it downfield. It's just intercepted immediately by Simeon Jackson, and Caleb Clark has sprung a great ball from Simeon Jackson, and a fine finish from Caleb Clark, the youngster potting his first goal of the match. And if you think it was over, oh no, it was not. Already down to 10 men through injury. Canada strikes again in the 77th minute. Franco Lewis up the right side to Sam Payet. Anthony Fuller. Mark Larkin back to Payet. Fuller doing well here in the Simeon Jackson hold-up roll. Look at that volley from Caleb Clark. Now that's a goal you put on the highlight reel. So let's see, and Fuller does well to control. Great little ball from his man, inside his man. Clark doesn't even wait for this ball to land. First time volley on his right foot, slamming it near post. What a finish by Caleb Clark at the national team level. A well-deserved player of the match at 8.8. Good job, Caleb Clark. So with that done, World Cup qualifying being what it is, we sit atop our group with 4 points. Draws from the Turks and Caicos Islands and Grenada, sitting on 2 each. Saint Vincent sitting on 1. Our next matches will be against the Turks and Saint Vincent. Sorry, Turks and then Saint Vincent. I'm reading that properly. A win here would be really nice. Really nice indeed. Need to open up a nice hole so we can get even more of these prospects in and cap tie them. Though I am, for this next group, I'm already planning it out. I am bringing Atiba Hutchinson and Luca Gasparotto back into this squad. Goodness knows. We need to ensure we get these wins, and making sure they actually see playing time under me as the new boss is key. There was a lot of outcry when I left Atiba Hutchinson with Atlas, but it was very clear that I wanted these other players getting some time, getting minutes, getting cap tied, and showing me what they can do. So I'll show off the tactics here for Canada very quickly. We're playing a 4-4-2 with a box midfield. It does mean that I'm losing people like Kyle Porter, Russell Tybert, all our wing players, but looking at the overall squad, I gotta look big picture here at what we have available in the pool. This is the smarter play. 4 at the back, 4 midfielders, 2 holding, 1 is an anchor, 1 is a traditional D-mid, 1 is an advanced playmaker, and 1 is a central mid. And then a target man forward and an advanced forward. So we're really trying to win the game here in this box midfield, get it to our target forward, hold up for the forward striker, and go from there. Not calling up Borjan to this next squad, though. I need him for the playoff push, so Gantar will get the call. Simon Thomas will get another crack, and as will Paul Haber from Montreal's U23 squad, or I believe just their U20. Did he get called up, actually? I believe. Yes, he did get called up. He is now in the full senior squad for Montreal, so there you go. Paul Haber called up. Don't know if he's any relation to Marcus. Could be. Alrighty. Let's get ready for today's featured match here. It is going to be LA Galaxy and Vancouver Whitecaps FC. We have no injuries helping us out here. It's going to be a full-strength LA lineup. Not fun at all. But, I mean, hey, they are just below us. They're in 7th. They have a game in hand, though. Cannot take this lightly, especially after that embarrassing loss to San Jose. We need to win this match. So, Borjan, Lewis, Torres, Leveron, and Kleber. Alderson and Kofi. Hart, Holt, and Tybert. Maddox up top. Schmid, Ederson, Rayner, Beitashour, Fuada, Bukit, Cisneros, Mesquita on the bench. Looks good to me. Here we go. Oh, Torres needs a number. Why don't you take the number 4 there? Obviously, you're not taking Bobby Lenarduzzi's 5. You're not getting Dominic Mobilio's 10. Those are off limits. And here we go. LA home win A. Already writing us off A. Well, I'll just see about that. Come on, boys. I want to see better than last time. That's it. Good. Go on the counter. Hassle our opponents. Don't worry about chaining possession. Just get the ball. All right. LA Vancouver. Here we go. Vancouver in the blue. LA in the white. Early foul against Tiernan Hart there as he takes down Juninho. Oof. Borjan, that's an interesting offside, I assume, to take from Borjan. See back into his net? He does. Thankfully, Marco Papa's shot is just a few kilometers wide. Papa now with a free kick right at Borjan. I'm not liking this here. This is a very rough start. Torres giving away. Tybert to Holt. Holt to Maddox. Maddox shot is blocked. Good job there actually by Maddox to stay on side. He had to tag up very quickly. Kleber's throw now looking for Tybert. Can't find him. Back to Kleber. Bryce Alderson cutting inside for Holt. Who gets it to Tybert again. Jinx inside Tybert! Russell Tybert! 5th goal of the season. Well taken strike from Tybert. 20 minutes in, Vancouver have a 1-0 lead in the step-up center. Look at that great move by Tybert. Leaves Michael Parkhurst, a U.S. men's national team veteran, standing still. Not a happy keeper, and can you blame him? Great footwork there by Tybert. Buries it. 1-0 good guys. This is Vancouver again. Maddox finds Tiernan Hart. Hart into the area. Has his distance, or has a shot from distance there. Not a bad idea, but side netting only. Vancouver now out shooting LA 4-2. And the balance of power has shifted rather monumentally. Oh, Rogers does well to jink past Lewis there. Lewis dove in very rashly. And now Marco Papa on the right. Off the post. Borjan actually only able to push that off the post. Not totally clear. But good job he got there, though. Holt back to Kofi now as the Caps try and settle it down, and they do. Oh, good. Landon got injured. Alright, let's necessarily want to go possession. Your possession doesn't necessarily equal a win. Poor passing, however. That will hurt as, oh man, a giveaway, a gift for Donovan, but he puts it off the bar and over. That very easily could have been 1-1, and perhaps should have been, if we're being honest. Vancouver going the other way. Holt from distance. Stefan Fry, easy to pick that up. That might have been a pass intended for Hart. Too much mustard on it, though. I'm just going to go ahead and say work ball into the box here. A little more finishing on target would be nice. Good job by Holt to get in there. You cannot tell me that the move of Sebastian Fernandez and Jason Holt was a bad one. You cannot tell me that Maddox did a good job there either. That should have been on target. Clear-cut chance missed for Vancouver. That's 2 clear-cut chances. Only 1 has been converted. Gutierrez. Pressured by Hart. Kov. Donovan. Juninho. Diakov now. Put in by Alderson. Robbie Keane playing Marco Papa. It's great save by Borjan. Shouldn't have got to that point, though. Great movement by LA. Poor marking by Vancouver. Headed over the bar. Thank goodness. This set-piece defense is looking a little bit suspect here for the Whitecaps. Thankfully, it's moved away by the combined efforts of Torres and Lewis. Diakov. Look at Papa. Papa is doing everything there out on the flank. Keane's header is a weak one, straight at Borjan. Borjan opposite just hammered into touch. Not the best play out of the back, if we're being honest. That should have been on the foot of either Hart or Lewis. Robbie Rogers' cross is equally not good. Borjan restarts again, looking for Tybert. Can't find him. Kleber will pick it up on the left. Little back heel for Alderson. Kleber and Alderson 1-2 in the center. Holt now plays in Tybert. Tybert's got 1. Opts go back for Kofi, then set to go for 2, but Hart! Great little poke by Tiernan Hart off the volley from Gershon Kofi. It's 2-0 Vancouver. That came against the run of play. Tybert back to Kofi. 1 touch, 2 touch. Pass. Hart skips past him. That's a beautiful ball. Doesn't wait. First time poke. Past Gutierrez. Past Fry. Hart makes it 2-0 Vancouver. And off the opening kickoff, intercepted immediately from Vancouver. LA looking out of sorts here. They have been rattled, and Vancouver is taking all of that to their advantage. Tybert looking now. Finds Alderson. Alderson back to Tybert. Sharp angled shot by Tybert. Might have been looking for someone to tap that in, but no one was forthcoming. Kleber's free kick taken quickly back to Leveron. Holt, looking for Tybert, finds him. Crossed over the bar by Tiernan Hart. Very nearly a 3-0 game, which would have been a brace for Hart. No card for Svislav Yakov. Fine by me. Alderson. Holt deep. Holt out of position here in the corner. Will they allow him to get back into the play? Looks like they will. Kofi finding Holt now, who sets up Maddox. Turns Hart. He's offside. You had to think Maddox was playing a little bit fast and loose with his positioning there, and he did indeed get caught on the offside. 2-0 at halftime. That is pretty darn good. Alright, guys. Good job. Good job. Alright, relax, boys. Pressure's off. Good. Let's get Maddox inspired there. Alright, so far so good. Nobody overly knocked. Everyone's healthy on the bench. We have options in the second half. Let's give it a go. Vancouver kicking off this half, which is even better. Holt and Kobe play a little 1-2. Maddox brought down by Venter. Free kick for the Caps. Alderson earned himself a yellow. That's going to get him subbed off. So knocked a bit is Alderson. Papa's free kick. Headed over by Venter. Right, yeah, I think now you come off, Alderson. Fuad Uwakit will come on for the Canadian. I don't know any other subs while I'm at it. Anybody need to come on at this point? I do want to slowly wean Mosqueda back into the squad. I might put him in for Maddox. Maybe at the 80th. Right, Alderson off. Fuad Uwakit in. Tybert. With the corner. Oh, it's a penalty! It's a penalty on Robbie Keane! Now, who takes this? I would assume Maddox. Do they give it to Hart for the hat trick? Or for the second? It will be Maddox. From the spot. No, it's saved by Stefan Fry! Darren Maddox. His poor day in front of the net continues. Clever from a free kick. Wide. Fine save by Stefan Fry. Maddox will have wanted that back for sure. We'll bring on Mosqueda now at this point. Gersh is a little bit knocked. And I want to get Russell Rayner into the game here. So we're actually going to move Leveron up to Gersh's spot. And bring on Adrian Russell Rayner for Gersh. Fresh defenders, always a good idea when trying to see out the game. Franco Lewis now on the right-hand side. Throw in, stays with Vancouver. Kofi to Lewis on the right. Uwakit, Holt, Hart, Maddox, saved by Fry. Tybert will not be able to chase down the rebound. Fry has Maddox's number today. He's in his head, and that's not a good place for Maddox to be having a... Oh, it's another penalty! Parkhurst has given away another one. I didn't even know what that was. Was it a handball, perhaps? Maddox chance to make good. There it is. Fry guesses correctly, but Maddox powers it past him. 3-0 Vancouver. That's going to do wonders for Maddox's confidence. Oh, but it was so very nearly a second save for Fry. Guessed right. He even got a finger to it, but off the post and in. Good job, Darren Maddox. The double substitution now has been complete. Parkhurst injures himself in that clash, which is fine by me. 86th minute. Kleber to Holt. Sorto. Actually, Sorto. Can't imagine he's any good in this game. He's barely good in the real MLS. I don't know what Sorto's actually rated. When as he mentioned, started Keane. Great little move. Papa saved by Borja, and the clean sheet remains. Papa shut down. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Vancouver needed a big win after that loss to San Jose. They get it in the StubHub Center. A 3-0 away win over the LA Galaxy. That is a fantastic result. Tiernan Hart, well-deserved player of the match for his efforts on the right-hand side. Everybody's happy. Morale boosts up. I will agree that those penalties were very suspect. Very suspect indeed, but no matter, we used that game in hand well to move back above Portland in the playoff spots, level with Seattle. We had 2 games in hand on them, so we could even perhaps move above Seattle and get that home berth in the wild card match. Next time on Blue and White, it's going to be Portland. More Cascadia action. Be sure to tune in for that and more. You can watch these episodes live on twitch.tv/Rituro or recorded on youtube.ca/steelswords. Regardless of where you watch them, be sure to follow me at that Rituro guy on Twitter for all the news about Blue and White and my other shows. Thank you all for watching, everybody. My name is Rituro. This has been Blue and White, and we'll see you next time.